Hey guys, there is a fractal from the Amazon chart during the dot-com bubble that applied to Bitcoin gives Bitcoin a price target in the very, very, very low levels at around a 94% drop. It also says that Bitcoin will bottom out towards the end of next year. Now, this is a fractal that's been circulating called the Amazon fractal. Of course, you've probably heard of it because people have been talking about it all over crypto YouTube for about 6 months, even more than that. I'm going to be analyzing that fractal because it is still technically playing out, but I'm going to give you my reasons for why I don't necessarily think it's entirely valid and why I don't think it will actually play out properly. Let's get into the video, guys. But before we do that, sorry to kind of tease you there. Check out the VIP group. You can do trading signals there with the VIPs. Check out the Crypto Academy. You can learn to trade in the Crypto Academy and check out the free Telegram group, which you can chat to other people in the Wolfpack about the markets 24/7. So cheers, guys. Let's get into it. Now, on the right-hand side of the screen here, we have the Amazon chart, as you can see, and on the left-hand side of the screen, we have the Bitcoin chart. This Amazon chart is from 1999 or 1998 all the way through to around 2001, and you can see the structure. This is kind of a fractal that people talk about, right? The structure is very, very similar. In fact, if we were to go ahead and actually take a bar pattern from this area here, let's just go the whole chart here and move it across over to the Bitcoin chart and apply it. You can see it is a pretty similar structure. It's nothing strikingly similar though, which is something I've always disagreed about with this fractal. Everyone acts like it's it's the perfect fractal. It's well, not really. I mean, it's just a pretty regular cyclical top fractal, or what would you call it? I suppose it's a cyclical top fractal, right? Pretty regular stuff. You see a double top formation. It's just essentially a double top formation. So first of all, that's my first criticism. I don't think it's particularly compelling because it's pretty regular. You can find this in any chart, right? It's just an M formation. It's nothing too special here. But assuming, because it obviously does have some similarities. So assuming that we're going to take it seriously, which we will do for the sake of this video, okay, we have to understand, okay, well, Bitcoin's still playing out in the fractal. It's still going decently. We have to kind of take some measurements here, okay? So how far did Amazon go down until it found its low, right? It went down 94% and it took around 658 days, okay? So let's write that down, right? 94%. And it took around 600, what did I say, 698? Let's just double check that real quick here because I can't quite remember what I said. 600, okay, so 58 days. Okay, so 658 days, bang. All right, so now we can apply that to Bitcoin. We can say, okay, if Bitcoin does the same thing as Amazon, which is what people who believe in the fractal think Bitcoin will do, right? Because it's a fractal, you're meant to copy fractals. Where would we go? We'd go down 94%, okay, and that would take us to around 4,000 on Bitcoin. 4,000, very low price point. And 658 days would take us to around here, okay, so 4,000, and we'd reach it in August 2023. We reached the 4,000 USD mark. We can go ahead and put a circle there in August 2023. If the fractal plays out perfectly, which is a massive, massive if, right? Huge if. They're one of the biggest ifs you can ever get. If the fractal plays out perfectly, that's where we'd be bottoming out on Bitcoin, right? And now, assuming it plays out perfectly, okay? So we're making a lot of assumptions here already, which is one of the reasons I don't like fractals, because you have to make a lot of assumptions, right? Assuming it plays out perfectly, okay, and we go down and we bottom out at the same time, we do a rough percentage, then we have to assume that the fractal will keep going, right? So what happens after that? Well, we don't reach an all-time high again on the Amazon chart, okay? We reached an all-time high. Let me get a line here. We reached the all-time high over here in 1999, December. We didn't reach an all-time high again on the Amazon chart until 2010. 10 years later, it took us 10 years on Amazon to regain the territory we lost in 1999 during the drop. So assuming you think this fractal is going to play out perfectly, which again, massive if, okay? You wouldn't see Bitcoin reach an all-time high again until 10 years after the top, which would be 2031. Okay, so these are the questions you really have to start considering when you take fractals like this seriously. This is why I don't take fractals seriously, okay? I don't see this as a complete carbon copy clone of what happened to Amazon in 1999. I see this as a regular top formation, because that's what top formations look like, okay? They look like this. So it just so happens that we had something like it before. Now, expanding on that point, we have seen fractals from the Amazon chart on Bitcoin that have been widely circulated before, okay? Scroll back to this article. This is from 2 years ago, okay? I just wanted to show you the article rather than the chart because you can see that it actually was popular. 2 years ago, we're looking at 2020 here. It was a big deal, and you guys might remember it. There was a big deal between these two charts here, the Amazon chart on the left and the Bitcoin chart on the right. And a lot of people thought that Bitcoin and Amazon were doing the same thing here. And to an extent, they were correct. If we'll look at the chart in a second, we did end up going up in the end. But I think the main point people need to consider is that this wouldn't have happened. This fractal wouldn't even have been relevant if it wasn't for the COVID drop. And it's a bit rich to act like this is a proper fractal anyway, right? It is a bit of a stretch, let's be real. It just looks like it was a descending channel on Amazon there, and it looks like something entirely different here on Bitcoin. But my point is, my main point is, and I suppose we will look at this chart in a second, but my main point is this: fractals have been identified from the same time period on Amazon before, and they haven't played out as well as people would have expected. I think the 4-year cycle really took precedence here, so let's look at that. All right, so bring up the Bitcoin chart. In fact, we can make this a singular screen now, and we can get into what happened there. So according to that fractal, we should have come all the way up to all-time high resistance, okay? And we should have rejected from that all-time high resistance. Keep in mind, this fractal was made around here just after the COVID drop. We didn't come up all the way to all-time high resistance. We came up a little bit to here, then we dropped down. We dropped massively preemptively, and then we blasted off. But that blast off was due to the 4-year cycle theory, not due to the Amazon fractal, right? And in fact, the structure itself was completely off, right? There was no real similarity between these two structures. The only similarity between these two structures is that we went upwards, right, during the first part of the fractal, and then we went downwards again and tested support, which is basic TA. So I think that, people are confusing, and, you could make the argument, well, eventually we did see an all-time high, but again, that's the 4-year cycle. I don't think that's the Amazon fractal. I think people who look at fractals too seriously, because I can tell you right now as an analyst, and Megawell Crypto will agree with me, and he's a very close friend of mine in terms of market analysis. We work together quite closely, and we can say confidently, as someone who teaches about fractals in the Crypto Academy course, fractals are the least reliable way to do technical analysis, okay? Because they rely on the assumption that everything is going to happen the same again, which of course is simply impossible, right? We are not Amazon. Bitcoin is not the Amazon chart. We're not in the dot-com bubble. This is a 4-year cycle, regular bear market correction, as measured by the 4-year cycle, right? I want to briefly interrupt this video to talk about the BitGet Exchange. The BitGet Exchange has 5 times lower fees than Binance, which is the biggest major exchange in the cryptocurrency market on futures. It also has 0 fees on every single spot pair, so you can trade spot for entirely free, no fees included. It runs events. Right now it's got a FIFA World Cup event sponsored by Messi, the football player. It's got copy trading, strategy trading. It's got exclusive rewards and discounts in the reward center. It's got everything you need for a trader using an exchange. This is the exchange I personally use as a trader for my everyday trading, and I highly recommend everyone does so at the Wolves of Crypto YouTube channel. Sign up using my referral link for exclusive rewards and discounts. That really helps out the channel, and I appreciate it. For my fans from the United States of America, you can sign up using this exchange with a VPN and use the exchange with a VPN and just sign up using my referral link like normal, and you'll be treated like a normal customer because this is also a non-KYC exchange. So make sure to sign up using my referral link in the pinned comment or the description below, and without further ado, let's get back into the video. 4-year cycle, we topped out as per the 4-year cycle. Yeah, we saw a double top. That's probably the only similarity. And we've gone downwards as per pretty regular bear markets. Looking at a chart comparing the last 2 bear markets, let's take a look. As you can see, Bitcoin is perfectly on track here. According to this chart, the blue line is this current bear market. The other more faded lines are previous bear markets. We're following basically what we do every single bear market. This is not a unique time in which we're seeing the first time ever Bitcoin's following the Amazon fractal from a dot-com bubble. It's like, no, it was a regular bear market top as per the 4-year cycle theory, and it's been a regular bear market correction so far as per length of the correction and percentage of the correction. So there's nothing here that would suggest to us that this is so unique and we're following the Amazon fractal for the first time and it's going to play out perfectly. It's simply incorrect. Here's just another example. Yes, it's a pretty bad example. I'll give you that. It's not a very popular example. But the point is, people have used the Amazon fractal for a long period of time. This is March 2022. This is probably perhaps before the Amazon fractal was a massive deal, the one we just talked about in this video here. But as you can see, March 2022, even this guy on Twitter, which I'll admit I don't know who he is, was using Amazon Fractals. Just to give you an idea that like everyone uses Amazon, they've used it for a long period of time. I showed you guys before an example from 2020, right? I could probably go back further, find examples from 2018. Amazon seems to be the go-to comparison for cryptocurrency because, again, a lot of people kind of expect subconsciously, or maybe not expect, but are suspicious of the fact that maybe crypto is similar to .com and it's in a bubble and eventually it's going to pop and it's going to bring everything down to fair value. That's a fair assumption, and so Amazon is the correct kind of viewpoint to take if you're taking that point of view or analyzing that point of view. You would look at Amazon and you would look to see how Bitcoin is copying it. But as I just showed you guys, like, you know, I showed you just then, someone, and this is a very popular article back in the day, right? I'm assuming, right? They found the very same fractal, the very same period of time that we're looking at here, they used for the 2018 bear market. So it's not the first time an Amazon fractal from the same location has been pulled and compared to Bitcoin. This is actually not the first time at all. It happened all over the last bear market. For those of you who were around in the last bear market, you would have seen the exact same fractal be applied to Bitcoin there. And so yeah, it's not unique, and I'm not treating it as if it's unique. It's another fractal, and you know, if we reach 4K in August 2023, you know, then granted, it played out pretty well. But other than that, I've still got dramatic reason to believe in the 4-year cycle theory, and I'm not going to throw it out the window because, you know, we did some price action similar to what we did 20 years ago on a completely unrelated stock. Okay, I think the main point is people forget, as I said, I'll say it again, people forget that things look similar, not because they're repeating, but because TA works. TA is a thing. Analysis is a thing, right? Charting works. Charting, it's all about patterns. Things do repeat, okay? You know, and things do look the same. There's only a certain amount of variance of top formations that you have. A double top formation is a very common variant. So it's not like, you know, you can put these two charts together. Where's my Bitcoin weekly chart? It's not like you can actually put these two charts together, Amazon and Bitcoin, and actually look at those charts and say, oh yeah, that's happening again. It's the same thing. It's like, no, we didn't see any dramatic bounces. We didn't see any dramatic plateaus here in Amazon. We just went straight downwards. It was just a slow depreciation and we eventually found a low. There's been a clear different story for Bitcoin. We've had legs. We've had one leg down, leg up, leg down, leg sideways, leg down, right? It's been completely different drop. The only thing similar, as I said, in my opinion, is the double top formation and the fact that people are overly suspicious of Amazon, of Bitcoin, and the crypto market doing something similar to tech stocks in the early 2000s and the late 90s, right? That's my opinion. I don't think it should be taken too seriously. Of course, I'll keep an eye on it, but I'll let you guys know what happens with it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.